Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the 112th Army-Navy game. As president, I have no higher honor or responsibility than serving as commander-in-chief of the finest fighting force in the history of the world. And the young men about to take the field today are some of the best our nation has to offer. Today, I'm proud to introduce a captain from each team. First, Stephen Erzinger, United States Military Academy, class of 2012.
Hail alma mater, dear, to us be ever near. Help us thy motto bear through all the years. Let duty be well performed, honor be e'er untarred, country be ever armed, West Point by thee. Guide us thy honor right, teach us by day by night, to keep thy honor bright, for thee to fight. When we depart from thee, serving on land or sea, may we still loyal be, West Point to thee. And when our work is done, our course on earth is run, may it be said, well done, be thou at peace, or may that line of gray increase from day to day. Live, serve, and die, we pray, West Point for thee.
Hoorah! Hoorah! Hoorah!
And now, Jabari Tuani, United States Naval Academy, class of 2012.
Now colleges from sea to sea may sing of colors true, but who has better right than we to hoist a symbol hue? For sailors brave in battle fair, since fighting days of old, have proved the sailors right to wear the Navy, blue and gold. Beat Army, so hoist our colors, hoist them high, and vow allegiance true, so long as sunset gilds the sky above the ocean blue. Unlowered shall those colors be, whatever fate they meet, so glorious in victory, triumphant in defeat. 4 years together by the bay, where Severn joins the tide, then by the service called away, we've scattered far and wide. But still when 2 or 3 shall meet, and old tales be retold, from low to highest in the fleet, we'll pledge the blue and gold.
Today, these Patriots compete against one another. Soon, they'll be part of the same proud team, the United States Armed Forces. On behalf of all Americans, we are so proud of you and we thank you for your service. Enjoy the game, everybody, and God bless America.
For the first time ever, the Army-Navy game will be played a stone's throw from our nation's capital in Landover, Maryland. A fitting setting for these two service academies to meet. Hello, everybody. I'm Tim Brando, and welcome to Autotrader.com College Football Today and the 112th Army-Navy game presented by USAA. Our thanks to Army and Navy Captain Stephen Erzinger and Jabari Tuani, as well as the Commander-in-Chief for their help with the opening of our show. President Obama will be in attendance today, and I'm joined by Spencer Tillman and Aaron Taylor, and there's no rivalry anywhere in sports quite like this, guys.
Yeah, there's no question. In such a year of controversy in college football, to me, this game is refreshing because Army-Navy still remains what college athletics was supposed to be.
You're absolutely right, Aaron. Our nation is one that is forged on heroic actions, and as these gentlemen get ready to deploy to theaters around the world, they'll make their unique contributions to our republic and our democratic way of life. For that reason alone, this is the most important game ever played.
All right, now here's what each coach admires about his opponent in the Power of Team presented by Russell Athletic.
What's great about the relationship between these two academies is while we are the fiercest of rivals, we can genuinely root for them week in and week out because we are similar in our styles of play.
I respect them because I know what they stand for. I respect them because I know what their young men go through. They live similar lives to our players. And so you have to be a person of great integrity, great character, and moral standing.
We'll be back with more as we move closer to the 112th Army-Navy game. You are watching Autotrader.com College Football Today on CBS. A reminder, a Showtime documentary, A Game of Honor, takes you inside Army and Navy football. Watch preview episodes at cbssports.com/honor. For every video viewed today, a donation will be made to the Wounded Warrior Project. Now let's take a look at how Army and Navy both perform in the red zone, presented by Verizon. Spencer, let's start with the midshipmen.
Well, the midshipmen, over 50% of the time, they score TDs in the red zone, gentlemen. Before a team with an elite turnover margin at plus 73, you kind of hope they pay off more chances with TDs.
Well, Army's really struggled to finish ball games this year, and a big reason why is because of their red zone inefficiency, allowing teams to score almost 89% of times they cross the 20. They got to do better.
All right, and that is your Verizon Red Zone. We'll be back with a few final thoughts right after this. AutoTrader.com College Football Today is sponsored by AutoTrader.com. Now find brand spanking new cars and special offers on AutoTrader.com. DirecTV. Switch now and get a whole home DVR upgrade for free. And by Russell Athletic, who reminds you that together we are. Gentlemen, let's get a quick prediction on the game from both of you.
Well, I think it's going to come down to defensive turnovers because I think Navy has the advantage here, and I think if that trend plays out, this game will end just like the first one began in 1890 with the Navy win.
Well, Army's had a tough go of it on the road, but they are the nation's #1 team in terms of rushing yardage. I like their third quarterback, Angel Santiago. I think he's going to play a factor in the outcome of this game. Go Army.
All right. That's it for now. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, and Tracy Wolfson are standing by after this message and a word from your local station with the 112th Army-Navy game.
CBS Sports, tradition, champions, and the pulsating world of the CBS Sports family. CBSSports.com, where fans live the game. And the CBS Sports Network. This is CBS Sports.
For the 112th time, Army is playing Navy in football. For the first time, the game will be contested in the nation's capital. And it comes complete with all the pageantry we associate with this great rivalry. And among the 82,000 in attendance, the President, Barack Obama, and the Vice President, Joseph Biden. Welcome to Army-Navy, America's game presented by USAA. This is the Home Depot College Football on CBS Sports. Today, the 112th renewal of Army versus Navy. Good afternoon, everybody. Vern Lundquist along with Gary Danielson. We welcome you to the nation's capital. For the first time in 9 years, there's no bowl game for either team. They come in with both with losing records. But, Gary, this game still has real relevance.
Oh, it really does. You know, we've our third year watching these young men grow into soldiers. We've kind of gotten accustomed to it. I think these two teams are evenly matched this year. I look for a great game.
Well, they both run the option, and that means we're going to focus on the quarterback.
Yeah, I think you have to. When you're running this type of offense, you depend on your guy to make it go. For Army, it's Trent Steelman. It's his third year as the starting quarterback in this game. He sets the tempo with his legs. He actually is the physical force for this Army team that leads the nation in rushing. Now, Chris Proctor's had some big shoes to fill. Ricky Dobbs ran this offense for Navy, but you know, his coaches said about Chris Proctor, if the other 21 guys would have had as good a year as Chris, we'd have been fine. Chris has done very well at quarterback.
Great day, full house. Let's go to the public address announcer, Mark Kessler, for the coin toss.
In commemoration of the Reagan Centennial and in partnership with the Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation, we honor President Reagan in today's coin toss with a commemorative Reagan Centennial coin. The Reagan Centennial National Football Coin Toss celebrates the values that football teaches, such as leadership, teamwork, and drive, which Ronald Reagan embraced and exemplified throughout his life. Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to midfield for the coin toss and welcome the President of the United States, the Honorable Barack Obama. Joining the President is the Vice President, the Honorable Joe Biden, the Secretary of Defense, Secretary Leon Panetta, and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Martin Dempsey, United States Army, along with the team captains from Army and Navy. Joining them on the field from the Department of the Army are the Secretary of the Army, the Honorable John McHugh, the Army Chief of Staff, General Raymond Odierno, and the United States Military Academy Superintendent, Lieutenant General David
Present to you
Hunter.
President Barack Obama, who will be flipping the coin today, this classic football game. The coin is a commemorative silver dollar honoring President Reagan. His impression will be heads. The presidential seal will be tails. Army, you're the visiting team today. You have the privilege to make the call.
Tails.
You're calling tails.
Tails is the call.
President Obama,
Tails is the call.
would you do us the honor and flip the coin and let it hit the ground? Tails is the call. It is tails. Army has selected to receive. Navy, we will kick. Which end of the field is the kick from? Your backs this way, please. Army, you will defend this goal. Army won the toss and will receive. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, captains, ladies and gentlemen. Good luck.
And first on the field, the midshipmen of the Naval Academy, 4-7. They've won 9 in a row against Army. And right behind them from West Point and the U.S. Military Academy, the Black Knights. They had a march on about 2 hours ago, and now the football team is going to march on and then speed it up. Army, Navy for the 112th time. Home Depot College Football on CBS, Army-Navy, America's Game presented by USAA, is sponsored by USAA, the United States Army, K Jewelers, and by LG.
At Annapolis and West Point, the mission to train leaders of character is never done. Their uniforms unite them as a single brotherhood. And at the same time, their uniforms clash. And nowhere is the rivalry more passionate than on the football field. 111 times the Black Knights and the midshipmen have stood guard against each other across the gridiron. Their ranks are filled with honor students, valedictorians, and varsity team captains. The Army-Navy game still represents all that is great about football and the nation both academies serve. Teamwork, fortitude, leadership, and integrity. This is truly a game of honor. War heroes have graced this stage, as have 5 Heisman Trophy winners. Between them, the teams have won 4 national championships, and 10 standing United States presidents have watched them play. where brothers in arms square off once a year for bragging rights that last a lifetime. An intense family feud summed up in 2 words: Army, Navy.
And so we are set for the Army-Navy encounter. The Army Black Knights 3-8 for the year. The Navy Midshipmen 4-7. They lost 5 of those games by a total of 11 points. Moments ago, Tracy Wolfson with Ken Niumatalolo.
Coach, I just saw you a moment ago with the president. What did he say to you?
Gave me a little bit of shock and hang in there, but it's great to talk to him. I've been in a lot of these. This one's different, though. Just a different era about this game. Hopefully our emotions are in check, but there's not too many events that the president and the vice president are at.
Thanks a lot. Good luck today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. And, of course, Ken Niumatalolo, a native of Hawaii, and traditionally wears a lei during this game, and he's got one on today. They first met in 1890, and Navy has won 9 in a row. It is really a terrific day. We've got clear skies, 46 degrees, a slight breeze out of the north-northwest, and a capacity crowd. John Teague will kick off, number 45. Scott Williams and Larry Dixon are the 2 deep men, and this will be Scott Williams. Nice tackle at the 25. They might mark this at the 26. And the stop made by number 15, Gary Myers. And let's introduce you now to the quarterback of Army, the junior Trent Steelman out of Bowling Green, Kentucky. He had a 32-game starting streak disrupted this year with an injury and might be a little hampered, but we're told he's full go. And on first down, they go to the left side. That's Jared Hassan, who a year ago had a 1,000-yard season. And now the Army offense presented by Jeep. Brad Kelly, Allen, Powis, Velante, and McDermott up front. And Barr Maples is the leading ground gainer on the team, and Hassan was a late add. And the fullback is number 26, Larry Dixon. Fullback. And that's a first down. Larry Dixon, a freshman out of Bremerton, Washington, just across the Sound in Seattle. Jabari Tawani is the leader of the defense. Marks, Jones, the other two up front. Shannon, King, Mike Warwick, and French are the linebackers. And the secondary, Gaines, Bush, Ferguson, and Sperry. Gaines and Ferguson are both freshmen. Toss. Hassan going left. Nothing doing this time. Tackle made by Matt Warwick, number 51.
This first time that Hassan and Dixon have been in the same backfield together. Hassan usually plays fullback, but he's lined up as halfback in the triple option, and handling the pitch would be the one thing I think he needs to be aware of.
It's going to be second down and 10.
That's what it gives you, though, right there.
Right.
Hassan on the power counter. You got two big physical backs in the game now, Dixon and Hassan. And remember, Trent Steelman is their next physical back. Send the fullback one way, and then you can run Hassan or Maples, their other gifted speed back.
Third down 3 on the opening drive. Malcolm Brown has come on the field now, number 23. Toss right. Maples has the first down plus. Matt Warwick makes the tackle, number 51.
This offensive line has led this Army team to be the best rushing team in the country. And when you think they're going to run the option, this time they come to the outside with the sweep, and that time Malcolm Brown, number 23, you just saw the end of it, get the good block on that speed sweep.
Well, with 140 yards in the ground today, Army will surpass 4,000 yards for the season. Passing this time, contact made at the line of scrimmage by Jared Marks, number 91.
That's exactly who made it. Inside the nose tackle for Navy. You remember last year, the nose tackles in this defense have to make plays against those fullbacks. He beat his guy and made the play.
Second down, 9. Opening drive of the game. Stephen Fraser, they will use a few running backs, will Army. And now Stephen Fraser, number 27, is in the backfield. Steelman in trouble, throws it deep right and heaves it into the Navy bench. The nearest receiver was David Brooks, number 13. Third down.
Well, we've seen Steelman now for 3 years, haven't we?
Right.
I mean, when he left high school, he was 165 pounds. Today, he's 205 pounds.
Right. And when we first met him, Gary, you remember, he wasn't really so sure.
No. He's a soldier now.
Yes, he is. Absolutely. Third down, 9. Option left side. Steelman keeps. Stiff arm. It'll be fourth down. Nice job then by Jared Shannon, number 10. And the first fourth down in the opening moments of the game here.
I'm not quite sure what Army will do here. What will Rich Ellerson do? Go 4-down territory? Or punt the ball? You would assume a punt this early in the game.
And it will be Chris Bolt who comes on. Matt Aiken, number 85, is deep. He's perched at the 10-yard line. Fair catch called and taken at the 18. And a flag is down, so hold everything.
Yeah, I'm sure they would decline that. That's pretty good field position, and they could get a lot worse.
Illegal formation. 5 men in the backfield of the kicking team. The penalty is 5 yards. It'll be added to the end of the run. First down.
This is an ACC officiating crew. They are charged with the responsibility of officiating all Army and Navy home games throughout the year. So we are underway in the nation's capital. LG, as a proud NCAA corporate partner, presents great moments in the Army-Navy rivalry.
From our nation's capital, go Army, be Navy!
The drought is over.
N-A-V-Y! Surgeon with the ball stripped away by Wyatt Middleton. 5! Touchdown! I believe that we will win! I believe that we will win! I believe that we will win! Go Army! You Navy boys! Drop and give me 20, you wussies!
Well, the thing about this rivalry is there's no emotion involved, ever. And so the Naval Academy gets the ball for the first time. They've got it at their own 23-yard line, and Chris Proctor is the quarterback, the senior. First down, 10. And like the Army, they'll run the option, and Proctor will keep it and go to the right. And let's introduce you to the senior quarterback from Big Bear City, California. His coach, Neil Matalolo, said yesterday he reminds him of a skateboarder in his demeanor. And I think what Coach Neil Matalolo meant is that he's fearless.
Yep.
Now Proctor replaced Ricky Dobbs, of course, who is on the sidelines today. Ricky awaiting assignment to his shift, which will occur on January 11th down in Norfolk. Second down, 6. It'll be 3rd and 1. And now let's introduce you to the Navy offense. Vickers, Cabral, DeMille, John Dowd, who was a finalist for the Campbell Trophy in New York City on Tuesday night, presented by the National Football Foundation. Turner, Teach, Gigi Green, Santiago, the leading runner, and Matt Aiken, the wide receiver.
I got a feeling, Burnett's the first thing John Dowd has ever lost in his life.
I think you're right. Absolutely. And, of course, the winner was Andrew Rodriguez, who is on the field right now. And here is a first down for the Naval Academy, G.G. Green, who is the fastest of this squadron of running backs for the Naval Academy.
Yeah, you can see the different style. Now, Navy is a more lateral option team, finessing a little bit more to the outside, have a bit more team speed. Army wants to come between the tackles when they run the ball at you. Same offense, just a little different slant to it.
Jeffrey Bacon with that tackle. First down and 10.
How Army freeze and look over for a play. Navy does it with quick motion to kind of try to declare the defense. Army's very close to the line of scrimmage with their safeties.
And up the middle it comes. Alexander Teach, who is destined to become a Navy SEAL. A.J. Mackey, he's the largest of the defensive line, and he checks in at only 260. This is not a massive defense for either Army or Navy. Watts, Bacon, and there is the winner of the Campbell Trophy, Rodriguez. And what a moment that was when he was honored on Tuesday night in New York City. Second down, 6. And another Navy first down.
He put the ball on the floor, but he's called down, I think.
Down by contact, yes. Yep.
See, the tough part about playing the option is you're out there at the defensive end spot. You're right here and saying, all right, I'm going to take on the quarterback, and then all of a sudden the back comes out and blocks you. You're standing there waiting for the quarterback. The next thing you know, the quarterback's going to the outside. Now, will this be reviewed? No, his elbow was down.
And so a first down, 10. Proctor keeps it and pays a bit of a price. Holt Zalnaritis made the tackle. Well, these are two of the outstanding rushing teams in the country. Army averaging 351. Air Force, of course, 320. Georgia Tech, coached by former Navy coach Paul Johnson, at 317. And then Nia Matalolo, he and Rich Ellerson both learned.
This is the one game they don't care which way the wind's blowing.
That's right. One of the earlier wins by Navy this year, they didn't complete a pass, didn't attempt one. Second down.
There you go.
Or not. Proctor across midfield and down at the 45.
And that was not called a quarterback draw either, though. That was just good coverage by that Army defensive backfield.
Andrew Rodriguez given credit for half of that.
When you talk to Ivan Jasper, the coordinator, you see the secondary, how close they are. They're playing run first, but no one really open across the board there, and Proctor did the right thing.
Third down. Stopped short of the first down. It's a 4th and 1.
It's pretty close, isn't it?
You think?
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty close.
All right. Stephen Erzinger, one of the captains, and Thomas Holloway.
We might have to get the vice president to be the tiebreaker between me and you on this one. It's pretty close.
All right. I'm saying he's short, Gary.
Really? Okay.
Okay.
We've got a tremendous booth for this game, though, don't we, Vern? I mean, this is like doing a, back in the high school. Oh, you won. Oh.
And you expected anything less?
This is like next week, you and Kellogg are going to be doing it just like this.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's an early promo for next week's basketball. As Clark and I get to work the Louisville-Memphis game next week. Now then.
Well, Kenny has taken what Paul Johnson built here with this Navy offense and built on it. He has expanded it. He is outstanding coordinator. Ivan Jasper has been with him for years, once as a quarterback in this offense, just like Ken was, and now running the same offense that Paul Johnson installed here for the Naval Academy.
Well, they have called time, and it comes with 6 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Opening drive for the Naval Academy. We have no score. Scoreless in Washington, 6:50 to go in the opening quarter. And a real privilege for all of us to welcome the President of the United States, Barack Obama. It's a pleasure to see you again.
Great to see you, Vern.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
This is the first time this game has been played in Washington, D.C. There seems to be a real resonance about having it here, though.
Well, look, we're close to the Pentagon. A lot of these guys are going to end up serving at some point or another here in Washington, passing through, getting their orders. But what incredible excitement. You can see how excited the midshipmen and the cadets are, but also just having it here has generated a great deal of attention for the community.
Well, it's great to have you with us, and he's going to stay and add a little commentary. We know he can do basketball, but we're going to give you a football test now. And it's 4th down for the Naval Academy. 4th and less than a yard. Proctor quickly. Quarterback sneak.
Yeah.
And that's a first down for Navy. They have won the last 9. Gary, take us through this.
Yeah, Mr. President, as we watch the 4th and 1, we know you're a Chicago Bear fan. College football, who do you follow through your career?
You know, the truth is that when I was in Chicago, I used to root for Illinois.
Oh, yeah.
But now that I'm in Washington, I got to admit, most Saturdays I'm working.
Makes sense.
Here's the handoff on the right side. And it goes to Alexander Teach, who kind of exemplifies the future for these young men. He's, Mr. President, an outstanding young man who's chosen to go the SEAL route. How admirable is that?
Well, listen, these guys, yeah, I got a chance to see them either West Point or Annapolis and do their graduations. You talk to them, they are remarkable. Yeah. They're smart, dedicated, tough, love their country, do an incredible job.
There's Proctor going around the side and gets inside the 20, and he's at the 19-yard line.
And that's what gives this game such resonance, because what we are reminded of is, as important as sports are, these guys are going to be in life or death situations voluntarily, protecting our country. They're going to be on the same team, and you know, it constantly makes you grateful for being here in America and these incredible young people. They are the best that we have to offer.
2nd down. Proctor, the leading rusher. Here's the toss, and they come left. Looks like another first down for the Naval Academy as they continue this drive inside the 15-yard line.
Well, Mr. President, we did the SEC all year, and we noticed something in one of our games. So you might be able to help us. Auburn had this play here that they flashed. Do you have any idea what that play might be right there for you? What's your favorite play? Do you have any idea?
Well, I've got to say that Auburn came last year to the White House.
That's right. That's right.
You know, to be congratulated for having won the national championship, and but they didn't tell me what the play was.
I've got a suggestion that it was either something in the middle or slightly to the left.
Looks like a fumble.
And it was turnovers last year by Ricky Dobbs that kept Army in the football game. Marching down the field, and all of a sudden when you're running this type of offense, you have to be so disciplined between the quarterback and the fullback. And that time, when Proctor took the football out of the fullback, he got hit just as he released it. Watch, he's got it. He doesn't have control. He gets punched out from inside. Who did you see who got it, Vern?
Jacob Droz forced it. There he is, number 50. And then Nate Combs, number 22, recovered.
Yeah, Droz is the guy that made the play off the... Yeah, now Army has that unique defense. They kind of come at you from all different angles. They gamble on defense and got the turnover there needed. And how ironic is that for Army? Because early turnovers really cost this Army team in the season. And Teach looks a bit shaken up, doesn't he?
Yeah, Alex Teach was injured on the play, and it goes to Army. So this is an Army team that has fumbled and lost 19 fumbles this year.
Yeah.
But the first turnover goes
we got
to them.
some hitting now.
Did you ever play football?
You know, I played football in 9th grade, and then I realized that I was built more for basketball. You know, I was a big kid in 8th grade, and then in 9th grade, suddenly everybody else started
there you go.
getting a little heavier than me.
On second down, Steeland rolling out, being chased, and knocked out of bounds as he gets to the 26-yard line.
What an incredible rivalry, though.
Isn't it?
112 years. And everybody who is rooting for Army and Navy, they understand the significance of these games. They build up to it all year long.
It's amazing being around these men. It's humbling, in fact, when you're around it, isn't
Absolutely.
it?
Third down and 3. And we are ever cognizant that this game is being carried around the world on Armed Forces Radio and Television Network. So great to have all of our young men and women in. Oh, another one.
Yeah.
That's what we were talking about, Gary. That's the 20th fumble that they've lost this year. It's been the story of their season.
Well, one of the things that people think is that Wishbone offense is a safe offense. Really, the contrary. You're doing a lot of ball handling in really close confines. And when you're trying to make those passes, it's, you know, in basketball, it's like those little passes in the paint. Those are the hardest ones to catch. And right there you can see the relationship between the quarterback and the running back was too close. And that time it was just bobbled and put on the ground. And Raymond Maples did not handle that pitch.
And it was the senior Jabari Tawani who made the recovery, young man from Brentwood Academy in Nashville. And here's Navy with a marvelous opportunity again to punch it in.
You know, Aaron Santiago, Mr. President, is from the island of Hawaii. He's smaller than you and very slight, but he is one of their main players.
Well, it's interesting. Some of you may remember my aide, my body guy, Reggie Love.
Of course.
He played at Duke and was also ACC. And Duke played Navy a couple of times. And he said nobody pound for pound was tougher than Navy. I mean, for Division I schools, you know, these guys aren't as big as some of the folks, but they are tough.
Santiago, here's Proctor around the end, and it'll be third down. Santiago listed at 5'8", 167.
Yeah, speaking of tough, watch what Chris Proctor had to take all season running this Wishbone offense. I was fortunate enough to run this offense in college, and it is a tough one because you face guys like that are ready to give you a physical pounding every time.
Third down. Oh, there's an appropriate signature to the game. Grass stuck in the helmet. There we go. Sweep right. This is Santiago.
Yeah, there he is. In fact, he's one of the main players, Mr. President. When they lost him, that really hurt the Navy offense all year. He's one of their key football players on the team. Shortstop. He said he wanted to be a shortstop, right? He's not a shortstop. He's a slot back in the Navy.
Well, you've got some great football players coming out of Hawaii.
And that's one of the things that both these squads have in common. Rich Ellerson, the Army coach, was the coordinator at Hawaii when Ken Niumatalolo was the quarterback. And that'll make you proud to see the Hawaiian contribution to these academies.
Well, you know, out of my high school, Mosi Tutupu played.
Yep.
Well-known fullback, and then Mark Tuine, who played defensive tackle for Dallas.
The Cowboys, sure.
So there's a strong tradition of guys coming out. Some big guys.
Now, we know you have to be 50-50 in this game, but we understand, and these college football people figure this out. Way back, your grandfather marched with Patton, right? So you got to be careful here. Believe me, Vern and I have been there. You catch it. If they even sense that you are leaning one way.
You know, I've got to be very careful, but it is true. My grandfather served in Patton's Army, and he actually is laid to rest in the National Memorial in Honolulu. And so, again, it's a reminder of these games. As much fun as these things are, you know, part of what we celebrate is the dedication and the sacrifice that all these young men and young women who are in the stands are going to be making for our country day in, day out.
Third down now for the Naval Academy. Proctor cuts in. Touchdown, Navy.
Well, Mr. President, that was a pretty good drive you gave us right there. I'll tell you that. You're the quarterback in this. It's your job to read the tackle real quick, decide whether to give it or not, and then whether you should follow or not. And this time, Proctor, see those quick feet. That's why Chris Proctor is so good at that. Fakes and follows almost in the same motion.
John Teague for the extra point. This effort has caused problems this year. Oh, dear. That's his. Oh, it
Snuck it
went through.
He careened it in.
Wow. He's had 2 blocked, but he gets this one. That's a billiard shot.
That was a little nerve-wracking for the coach.
That's right.
Wow. It was such an honor to have you with us. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.
President, nice. Thank you very much.
Have a great holiday season. Merry Christmas to everybody.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good to see you, sir. Thanks. Let's look one more time at the touchdown. Army-Navy. Navy scores first. 7-0. 1:06 to go, first quarter. Navy takes the lead. Chris Proctor with 11 carries, now 39 yards, and the touchdown. And there's Proctor on the headsets with the folks upstairs. Nice effort. And fumble, and then a Karam extra point.
Yeah, when you're running this offense, Rich Ellerson doesn't have any hair, but he's got to be pulling it out because you depend on those pitch relationships. You're running such a fine tune. You know, you want to use 3 downs to make a first down. You want to control the ball, and there's the turnover, and it could be the story of the season for Army this year.
20 lost fumbles. Here's the kick. Taken at the 7-yard line by Scott Williams, number 10.
That's right.
Well, the touchdown drive began with a miscue by the Army. Here's the fumble. Maples. And then Proctor with a 4-yard touchdown run. Puts Navy on top, 7-0.
My name is Chris Proctor. I'm a first class in the quarterback at the Naval Academy. After graduation, I'll be a Naval Flight Officer. But one last mission for the Academy, go Navy and beat Army.
And it was Proctor, of course, who's on the headset, who scored the touchdown from 4 yards out. First down 10, Army. This is Larry Dixon, the freshman fullback. And Proctor might be slightly injured. Let's get more from Tracy Wolfson.
Well, guys, on the sideline, Navy athletic trainers were working on Proctor's fingers, trying to stop the bleeding. It actually occurred during that Navy fumble, but because the Army fumbled and they recovered so quickly, they didn't have enough time to actually stop the bleeding for Proctor, but he seems to be fine, guys.
Here's Steelman around the right side, and tackle made by Wes Henderson, number 99.
It does look different, doesn't it? Now they're running basically the same offense.
Right.
But you can see the emphasis by the Army team is first angle they can cut into. The first crease, they're going to look for it. They are not trying to get wide at all.
Final 11 seconds of the first quarter. This is out to the 40. It's Dixon again. Larry Dixon, a true freshman. And he started the last 4 games and scored a touchdown in each of those 4. That's the end of the first with our score. Navy 7, Army nothing. We'll return to our nation's capital after this message and a word from your local station. welcome you back to Landover, Maryland, just outside Washington, D.C., but inside the Beltway. And we begin the second quarter of Army-Navy. It's 7-0 Navy. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, and Tracy Wolfson from our nation's capital. Around the right side is Raymond Maples, #1. And a nice run. Trevez Bush, #9, made the tackle.
Ryan Shields, the offensive coordinator for Army, and Rich Ellerson's offensive coordinator, has said, you know, Gary, we're a pretty good offense, and we're really close to being a really good offense. It's been a 3-year process. They're now recruiting. Oh, this is a busted play right here.
Yeah, sure was.
Yes, I don't know what happened, but it looked like Steelman went the wrong way. Everybody on the team was going left.
French made the tackle, #50.
Now watch this. Fake, fullback goes the other way, the blocking back goes, the guard goes the other way. It was just not right. Ryan Powis was going that way.
And a loss of 3 at 2nd down 13. Here's the pitch.
Oh, they got the angle. Got the edge.
Malcolm Brown, #23.
The one thing that Army can't have is, well, turnovers, #1.
Yeah.
Okay, we start there.
Right.
The second is negative plays. That negative play by Trent Steelman right there has put his Army team in tough situation. I'll bet this time they might be thinking 4-down territory here, though.
They're inside the 40. It's 3rd and 5.
Army now looks at their cards on the sideline. They all look over. They've got a signaling system similar that you've seen around college football.
And this will be stopped short of the 1st down. It's Larry Dixon, and a flag is down.
The president did laugh when I showed him the picture of.
Yes, he did.
Okay,
yes,
good.
Yes, he did.
Sure.
No, I knew you were concentrating on the screen. I was making sure he was comfortable
Yes,
with
all
that.
right, good.
Yeah.
Number 52 offense, 15 yards, still 3rd down.
I'm a little nervous about that, but
And he has taken his seat in the stands. Now he'll sit with the midshipmen in the first half and then transition to the cadets. Steelman missed 3.5 games, had a high ankle sprain, suffered against Vanderbilt, and that the next game he missed. Fordham, Rutgers,
Air Force, and then Temple, he started, but he was hurt 2 plays in. He hurt his knee 2 plays in. And those 4 games were a disaster for Army. Just the Fordham game they won.
Wow. That's down by contact. They're just celebrating.
You know who that is?
Jabari Tawani, who's
Yes,
2
he is.
tackles for loss away from the all-time school record. Now he's 1 away.
Now he's 1 because Jabari, #98, is one of the great football players in all of college football. I'm telling you, he could play for any defense, Alabama or LSU included. One of the great players I've seen all year on tape.
Here is the first punt of the game, and Matt Aiken, #85, is back. Grabs it with a fair catch taken at the 20. They might get him to 21. 36-yard punt. Jabari Tawani with his first tackle for loss in this ballgame.
America's Navy, a global force for good.
Anchors away.
Able to rescue small cats in a single bound. More powerful than an Army tank.
Look! Up in the sky!
It's a bird! It's a plane! No, it's America's Navy, fighting a never-ending battle for truth, justice, and another Navy win.
Go Navy, beat Army!
Lest you have any doubt about the production of the spot, they're called Spirit Spots, and that was produced, of course, as you saw, by the submarine force of the Navy. 7-0 here, 12:32 to go first half.
Just want to talk about the challenge this Army defensive line has. Undersized, as Vern told you. They're 260, 225, 225 along the front. I mean, you cover running backs bigger than that sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. First down and 10. G.G. Green with the carry going left. Well, we have talked a lot about the proficiency of the running games here. But in all candor, they have some defensive weaknesses. And so they may pile up a lot of yards today. That's true for both teams.
Yeah, and the Navy was telling us that the way Army gambles on defense and attacks the running game, they believe they're going to have to hit a couple deep passes to really kind of break open this Army defensive scheme.
That's a plunge over right guard by Alexander Teach. Zach Watts, number 40, makes the stop.
Yeah, Zach Watts and Andrew Rodriguez, number 42, are the basic kind of bookend ends on the field. They go 3 up the middle, and then number 40 and 42 kind of bracket them from the outside.
3rd and 8. Proctor, trouble. Down at the 15. It's going to be 4th and a bunch. Now let's go to Tim Brando for this Heisman Watch presented by Nissan.
Vern, we've got the ultimate Heisman Watch. There they are, all 5 finalists, right here in the studio. We're watching them now, and we'll be talking to them at halftime. Think they're anxious? You don't want to miss it.
We look forward to that. That's become a tradition on this particular Saturday that Tim and Spencer, Aaron Taylor's in the studio today. And
watch the honey badger. If he grabs it, you ain't going to catch him, I'll tell you.
Well, we all know he takes what he wants.
That's a great punt.
Pablo Beltran. And the ball still floating around. And it's down at the 48-yard line. The Army-Navy game presented by USAA will continue after this word from your local station. $7-0 Navy leads. Many of us were present in New York City at the Waldorf Astoria for the National Football Foundation annual dinner. Andrew Rodriguez, the 2011 Campbell Award winner, deservedly so, one of 16 finalists. You see his GPA 4.14. He is the Red Lobster Scholar athlete representing Army, and the Red Lobster Scholar athlete representing the Naval Academy, John Dowd, who also was a finalist. And during the break, there was a presentation on the field. To the left in the back, General David Rodriguez and his wife, Jenny, and then in the background there, Tom and Kathy Dowd, the proud parents of John Dowd. What an honor that is to be awarded the finalists. They do have a scholarship involved. And then Andrew Rodriguez, a deserving winner.
Well, and Vern, another turnover here? It is another turnover. Wow. Start this drive on the 50-yard line. Remember, this offense for Army is looking for a way to control the football. Was it Tawani again, number 98? Watch him from the top of the screen. Causes the fumble. He does. Slams the ball with his right hand and takes it right away from Jared Hassan, number 7.
And that's 21 fumbles lost for the year.
Oh, yeah, it just kills you. It just kills you when you have a ball control. How about, I'll tell you, Jabari Tawani is a really interesting football player. When he comes back out again, I want to talk about what his future may be besides the military.
Proctor chased out of the pocket, tucks it. He's got 2 blockers in front, one of whom gets a sensational block. And Proctor's flying down the sidelines before he's knocked out of bounds. I think it was Brandon Turner.
It was Brandon Turner. Wow. Exactly who it was. Now remember, when you play wide receiver for these 2 schools, you better be able to block. And Brandon Turner got a huge one downfield. You know, Brandon Turner, though, is 6'4", 200. He's one of the biggest guys on the field.
Right.
And he showed it on that one. Just cleared a path. That was a called pass play again, and it turned into a breaking play for Navy.
31 yards on that play, and here's G.G. Green to the 20-yard line.
I was just going to say, Vern was very modest. He also was honored at that Hall of Fame banquet honored for contributions to college football, and Vern couldn't have been given to a better person. You and Brent Musburger were honored and got to give a couple little note speech up there.
Thank you, partner.
That was something. I'll tell you.
It was a heady night.
It was.
I'd say.
Sitting right next to the Secretary of State.
Yeah, Robert Gates. No, that was, and I get to stand next to Gary, so it's been a good week.
Pretty good week.
Tracy was there, and our producer, Greg Silver, Micah Resco from our executive staff. It was...
They gave you the old golden throne. Is that how they introduced you?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well. Third down. It was, thank you very much. Third down and 1. 7-0. How about 21 lost fumbles?
I know. There is no offense for that type of mistake. I mean, especially with the type of football players you have. I mean, you can hit all you want, and Army will, of course, never back down. Zach Watts, I think, was the guy that got that one on
Yes, he
Teach.
did. And Alexander Teach with the carry. Now let's check the Verizon Red Zone stats. 28 touchdowns, 45 possessions. Right on the national average.
Right. And usually the Navy teams are better than that in the red zone. Usually they're up about 70%. They're not quite there. A new quarterback, Dobbs had done it so many years. That's always possible when those things happen.
Option goes left. This is G.G. Green. And Tyler Dixon, number 17.
I'll tell you, Jacob Draws that time, number 50. You can tell he faces this option every day in practice because he handled that so well. It was a counter option, one of the toughest things for your end men on the line of scrimmage to handle. He saw it instantly, spun off a block, and forced that wide for a great defensive. He didn't make the tackle. He's not going to get any credit for it, but he played it as good as you can.
Second down, 10. Proctor has the only touchdown of the game. It was a 4-yard run.
Yeah, here's that unbalanced look that Navy gives you as they move this offense further and further into the future, giving you so many different looks these days.
Timeout taken by Army. That is their second. Beg your pardon. Navy. They've got one left. Navy leads 7-0. Let's take a look at our Home Depot tools for success.
It's subtle, but you have to be experienced with this offense to really be good at stopping it. Watch Jacob Drowse right there, how he understands how Navy's trying to attack him. It's a counter play. He shifts out and he feels the blocker. He only gives him one leg to attack. Keeps his outside leg free. Then he can go down the line of scrimmage and wait for help in the secondary. You have to be patient as a defender and understand help's on its way.
There he is, number 50.
And that's why, when Navy played, early in the year, different teams, when they played South Carolina couldn't handle it. They weren't used to seeing it.
Second and 10. Proctor keeps it, cut down near the 10-yard line. This tackle made by Holt Zalneritis, number 88.
Well, it's an interesting call here. Remember the bad field goal kicking, an extra point kicking.
Yep.
Niumatalolo, they're thinking, all right, do I go 2 downs and try to put one on the board? Or?
Well, John Teague, the senior place kicker for the season, 8 of 13, but he's had 2 blocked. And you saw his extra point. Looked like a game shot. Well, it may be a moot point. It is. Alex Teach, number 39. 10-yard touchdown.
Boy, Teach looked like a seal there, didn't he?
Yes.
There was no stopping him on this one. Motion one direction, come out, pitch the ball to the fullback, and Teach flies into the end zone.
He's from Conroe, Texas, about an hour away from Houston. One of 28 midshipmen selected for SEAL training. He's going to have shoulder surgery. He had one last year. Now he's going back in and having the other one undergo the knife, and then he begins his SEAL training. Told us yesterday it's going to be 2.5 years before he becomes a complete Navy SEAL.
Yeah, about a 20% make it through that program. Maybe 19 other percent because that guy's making it. Everybody else better look for another spot because nobody's getting that spot.
Alexander Teach, team captain of the Navy football team. I've been chosen to go into the SEAL community, but there's one last mission before that, and that's beat Army. Go Navy, beat Army.
Tim Brando with a reminder coming up on the Geico Halftime Report. Spencer Aaron and I will chat with the Heisman finalists. You think they're a little anxious? Andrew Luck, Trent Richardson, Tyrann Mathieu, Robert Griffin III, and Monty Ball. Well, they want that trophy. We'll be anxious to talk to them. Now back to the game.
Both Navy touchdowns have followed Army fumbles, and the midshipmen up 14-0, going after their 10th consecutive win in this series. 7:05 to go before the halftime break.
We need 7. Let's go.
Dixon and Williams are the deep backs. Relatively short kick taken by Scott Williams, and he gets it out to the 20. Well, let's take another look at that touchdown.
Vern, sometimes they say all's fair in love and war, okay? Well, watch these three guys right here. We might say all's fair in love, war, and Army-Navy football, because watch Brady DeMille get his hand on Nate Combs, just with his right hand trips the middle linebacker. That's the way it goes. Now, Brady DeMille, you might want to figure is, you see Teach dive across there. You know why he can get away with that? He's a hockey player. Mentor, Ohio, a hockey player. Those hockey players will do anything to get their guy.
This is Malcolm Brown, number 23. Malcolm Brown with that carry. Proctor 15 carries and Teach 8. And they have led this Navy team to a 14-0 lead. One touchdown for each. Sweep right, Malcolm Brown.
Well, Jabari Tawani has started, what, 50 games or 50 consecutive games he's played in, and we've met him now back-to-back years. I asked him a question. I said, Jabari, you played as a freshman, you played 4 years, you played against every big team as we get ready for third down here. I said, have you ever been in a game where you felt overmatched? And I got to Matt, and he said, never.
That's right.
Remember, he interrupted never.
Yes.
And I believe him, too. He's 6 foot, 260 pounds, and he plays 100% every play.
Here's the toss and a first down for Army out near midfield.
And
that's Malcolm Brown. Jabari Tawani, the problem he's faced is a lack of height.
yeah, but I've seen some smallish defensive ends that can do it at this level, you know, and at the next level, and I think 2 years go by quick. He's got a 2-year commitment. I would not be shocked he does not get a chance in the NFL.
No, chatting with him yesterday, and you had a couple of comparatively sized defensive linemen in the NFL, one of whom was Dumervil. Yeah, no, it was Dumervil with the Broncos. There's Raymond Maples.
Yeah, and he said, I want to try. You know, he basically, you're not stopping this guy. If he gets a shot out there, he said he will run a 4.6 40. He bench presses 405 pounds. You know the type of player he is every single snap. I think he would be a smart late-round pick for somebody and just kind of wait on him for a couple of years.
Larry Dixon. Well, this is absolutely one of the great rivalries in college football. Here's the CBS poll question for this afternoon. What is the best rivalry in college football? We've given you 5 options. Some may disagree. Army-Navy, Alabama-Auburn. And on third down, we'll try and get it back up to complete the look in just a moment. 3rd and 3. Toss, right, Maples. First down.
You can see the speed that Maples has to get to the edge and make that first down. If you're the Navy team, you're expecting one of those fakes to the fullback, inside with Dixon. This time, quickly they get to the outside. Mike McDermott, number 68, the senior tackle, does a great job of getting that edge for Army.
And just to finish, Harvard, Yale, Michigan, Ohio State, Oklahoma, Texas. That's an idea of how you regard this rivalry in comparison to the others. Malcolm Brown with that carry. The core, this is not a neutral site by any, well, not an equidistant site. This game has been played in Philadelphia 83 times. Members of the Corps came down. They got on the buses at 11:30 last night to make the trek down from West Point. And as we have mentioned throughout,
I was complaining about my first-class flight.
Here's Steelman. They'll not catch him. Trent Steelman, touchdown, Army.
The key is what their offense does when it works well. He had 3 touchdowns in their win against Northwestern, and it was on plays just like that. They don't like to go wide. They like to go in the off tackle with the option, and that was a beautiful example of what they do on offense.
Alex Carlton, oh, it's a bad snap, but a nice hold. And the extra point is hammered home.
I think they took advantage of Jabari Tawani's aggressiveness on this one. Let's see if they don't get a crashing end right there, and it's read very quickly by Trent. Comes inside, he tackles the fullback, and that's all it needed. The end came in, handled the fullback, and instantly Trent Steelman, who's run this same play in practice probably 1,000 times, instantly saw it, knew where the weakness was, and we got a 14-7 game.
The Walter Reed National Military Medical Center is the newest and largest joint military hospital in the National Capital Region and the world. The mission of this incredible facility and the people who work there is caring for our nation's heroes at home and abroad. Thousands of caregivers with expertise in all areas of rehabilitation devote their lives to caring for our military.
It's really an honor to take care of these guys. We try to take care of them like they're heroes that they are.
I was injured and staying in Afghanistan. I've been at Walter Reed for just about a year now. I mean, the camaraderie here is just like in the fleet, just like the guys we were fighting next to. You know, we're in a different type of battle now, but we're all going through the same thing and draw inspiration off of each other.
At today's Army-Navy game, USAA is hosting 150 fellow caregivers from the National Military Medical Center. A big thanks to all who do so much in support of our nation's wounded veterans.
Well, the long gray line quite pleased right now as Trent Steelman goes over right guard and scoots in for the touchdown, which cuts the margin in half. With 3:34 to go before the break. Steelman now with 6 carries, 48 yards. He and Maples each with 48. And Brown with 28 to lead the men from West Point. Steelman with 12 rushing touchdowns now for the season. 3 back of the all-time leader, Torrey Crawford.
And while many other quarterbacks in college football spent their summer throwing the ball around, Trent Steelman was at Camp Buckner leading 10 new graduates in their off-season program to become soldiers. Said it was the best thing he ever did in his life. And you could tell, you could just see he was a different man that walked into our meeting rooms when we went up to West Point this year.
Well, he came to West Point because he had an offer to play Division I football.
Right.
And was not
sure about it, was he?
Not sure about it. Interesting. General Ray Odierno, who is the Army Chief of Staff, was here.
Same thing.
Same thing. He said he went to West Point because he wanted to play football and then became, obviously, committed to a career. Here's the kickoff, and Bo Snelson, number 4, made the tackle. A Showtime original documentary, A Game of Honor, takes you inside Army and Navy football. Watch preview episodes of the film at cbssports.com/honor. And for every video viewed today, a donation will be made to the Wounded Warrior Project. And our good friend David Faraday, our golf analyst, very, very involved in that Wounded Warrior Project. Teach hit at the line. And had he broken the tackle, he was going to gain a lot of yards. But ifs and buts.
Well, you establish your best player. Teach is their physical presence in this offense. And the Army defense, A.J. Mackey, the nose tackle. Last year, Mike Gann had such a dominating performance. This year, it's Mackey that has to hold the middle and allow the tackles from the outside, and that was your guy, Vern.
Yep, Andrew Rodriguez.
Sure was. He's a 4.14 student, and this time on a stunt, the defensive call is what got it that time. He lined up wide, and they crossed to the outside, and Teach goes, oh.
14-7 Navy leads it. Army called timeout. That's the first that they've used.
It's called assignment football. This time, Teach the fullback. Who has the assignment for the fullback? It's out here. Watch this, how you keep it as gray as possible for the offense by stunting, and Rodriguez has the fullback, and he makes the play, and that's what you have to do. You cannot let the quarterback settle in on exactly who has the quarterback. You give him a little bit of gray and make him make a few mistakes.
Andrew Rodriguez, whose father, General David Rodriguez, four-star general, and was a cadet, graduated in the class of '76. Now running the U.S. Army.
Yeah, Army
command.
will take a timeout now, won't they?
Yes, I'm sure. Yeah, they do.
This is starting to feel a lot like last year's game. Okay, when Army had that ball, that drive at the end of the half, they're going to get the ball here now, you know, with an opportunity to just under 3 minutes to go. Let's see if they can finish a little better than last year. We'll show you.
Tomorrow, the NFL on CBS. It's a doubleheader. League game early, Kansas City and the Jets. Greg Gumbel and Dan Deerdorf will move into our spot for the New England-Washington game. And the league game late, Oakland at Green Bay. Can anybody stop Green Bay? It all begins with the NFL today. JB and
Vern, Army needs to be very careful here. It's less than 5 yards for a first down. Navy could try a shift or something to draw them off sides.
Fourth and 4. Beltran's first punt carried 34 yards. Fair catch. Called for, taken. Josh Jackson, number 14.
Well, we talked about it. It was 17-7 last year. Army was on a drive very similar to this. And then at the goal line, it's ripped out, and Wyatt Middleton changes the game completely. A 14-point play. Remember that?
Yes, I do. Wyatt Middleton graduated from the academy, but he is still on the grounds, the yard. And here's a nice run, Malcolm Brown, number 23. Middleton awaiting his ship assignment. 19.
So similar, 17-7 last year, 14-7 now. Army has the ball. Good blocking this time by the Army receiver downfield, Austin Barr. He's 6'4", 210. He's bigger than some of the defensive linemen. But you have to be an Army to block, because that's usually what you do is block.
On first and 10.
Look at this.
Oh, Steelman looks deep, fires it. Oh, he's got the catch. Inside the 35, Austin Barr on cue.
Well, you know, Trent Steelman was not an option quarterback. Chris Proctor was. He was a triple option quarterback. Actually, he was recruited by Rich Ellerson to go to Cal Poly when Rich was at Cal Poly. But Trent was a thrower in high school, and he's fit this offense kind of different than the way Chris Proctor has.
There's the fullback. That's Larry Dixon. Take another look at that pass.
Yeah, half roll little to the right, just a little stop hook out to the outside, go down about 12 yards. First pass play you put in. Motion goes one way, everybody's flowing. Stop right there. Ball right in the face. Perfect.
Well, Austin Barr's got gaudy numbers for the season. That's his 4th catch. And Malcolm Brown.
Yeah, watch this high-risk ball handling right here by Malcolm Brown. He goes in motion and spins and catches the ball. That's a blind handoff from Trent Steelman to Malcolm Brown. And that's the ones you get those turnovers on, but you have to do it.
90 seconds. Well, now 95, 85, and it's 3rd down. Option pitch right.
Oh, look at that.
Maples inside the 15. David Sperry, number 28, with the tackle.
Watch how the offense fits together. They're going to run the same play, but fake it inside and run the option off of it. So the same quick handoff one way, Ian Shields come back and runs the option the other way, and
On the left side, Malcolm Brown. No, it is Brown, and he's down near the 5. Chris Ferguson, number 23, with the stop.
Well, practically in the same position. Watch Raymond Maples, number 1, get the block to the outside this time. He's their leading rusher, but you all have to block, and he gets the big one.
Army uses its final timeout. And they're looking at 2nd down and 1.5. We'll be right back. Geico halftime report, scores and highlights from around the country. Tim Spencer, Aaron Taylor will be along 55 seconds on the game clock from now. And interesting now, Army out of timeouts, but they've got a 2nd down and 1.5.
Yeah, now do they throw here? Remember, if they get a 1st down, the clock will stop. So, you know, they've got to be quick. They still have time to run anything on this play.
And there we go, Malcolm Brown, touchdown.
They might review this one. Army better be ready to get back up there and run another play. It's very close whether he hit the ground first or he got across.
Another block by Maples. And
did it get across the line, or was he short? Was the ball extended over the plane or not? Right down the line. I don't think so. I'm telling you, I think they better get ready to run another play. Now remember, that was a 1st down. So they could actually get up and spike the ball if they wanted to, or call the play in the huddle right now, but they must be ready. It's very close. Called a touchdown on the field. Remember, breaking the plane is all the way up in the air.
Right.
And it's the front of the line. Any tip of the ball that touches the front of the line is a touchdown. Very, very close.
Yes, it is.
I thought that look from down the line. And then he rolled it in. So I don't know if he extended it over.
They're running on the field stands.
There you are.
That was as close as I've seen all year, to tell you the truth. That was really close. 14-14, at least this year, they didn't have the 14 play going the other way, point play going the other way.
Alex Carlson is on to attempt the extra point, and I say attempt because he's missed 5 this year. 31 out of 36 for the season. High snap again. Nice job of getting the hold down. Colin Walk, number 38, is the holder, and nice play.
Well, instead of trying to pound it inside, Rich Ellerson goes with the option. Steelman performs perfectly, and we got a tie football game.
Just a little bit of celebration among the long gray line. And they get in for the tying score with Less than a minute to go. Second kickoff coming. We got a lot going on.
Oh, we do. I tell you, we got
notes being passed.
And like last year, we were doing the same thing and trying to figure out who had the fumble recover me, who knocked it loose.
Oh, goodness.
People think it's easy. You don't get mentioned at the Hall of Fame banquet for doing nothing. You don't get one of those awards.
Now quit it. Marcus Thomas, number 34, now with 41 seconds left. Navy has one left. Kyler Martin made the tackle. That's a 35-yard return.
Well, I think Navy probably would have said, all right, that's the half. We get the ball to start the second half. But with this return, I think you got to think about, let's see if we can get into field goal range. Let's see what we can happen. Proctor, remember, is playing with that dislocated elbow. He will have Tommy John surgery when the season ends.
Yes, a very good point that needs to be remembered. Not this time. All the way back at the 26, Nate Combs, number 22 with the sack.
And that should get it out of the half for Navy and Army. Nothing really there. You don't want to make a big mistake. Handled well to the outside. Nate Combs gets the tackle. He was the guy that was supposed to have leverage on that touchdown play. Remember when DeMel got him with the trip?
Right.
Well, he got even there. Kind of got even. Touchdowns are touchdowns, and that should be the half. How about that? Down 7-0, 14-0 with 7 minutes to go. They get a TD, 3 and out, and a touchdown to make this a football game.
2 touchdowns in 1:45. And saluted by the cadets as they head for the locker room. And Ken Niumatalolo and the Navy cadets and the Navy midshipmen are headed into their locker room. We go to Tracy, who's with Coach Rich Ellerson.
Coach, 2 critical fumbles. You get down 14-0, but 2 quick touchdown drives. How do you like how your team responded there?
We've kept playing. I tell you what, you're right, though. If we just take care of the ball and eliminate the negative plays, it's going to be a heck of a game.
A lot on the line, as you just mentioned, in these next 30 minutes. What will be the message to the team?
Play hard, have fun.
Great. Thanks a lot. Vern?
All right, President Obama will now switch sides and spend the second half with Army. Tim Brando, Spencer Tillman, Aaron Taylor with a Geico halftime report after this message. Proctor cuts in. Touchdown, Navy.
Touchdown, Navy!
Here's Steelman. They'll not catch him.
Gets to the goal line. Touchdown, Army!
We are set to start the third quarter, tied 14-14, Army and Navy. And moments ago, Tracy Wolfson with Ken Niumatalolo.
Coach, you jumped out to a 14-point lead, but they were able to get 2 quick drives there to score. What happened?
Well, give them credit. They end up getting on our linebackers. We got to do a better job of keeping our linebackers free. Well, we got the ball to start the second half, and so, the ball's in our court right now. We got to get it done.
All year, you've had trouble finishing. Did you bring that up to your team at halftime?
No, all we brought up was we got 30 minutes. We don't want to leave any regrets on the field.
Thanks a lot. Good luck.
30 minutes indeed, and this could be really fun. Army, Navy, of course, Navy has won the last 9. And this game means everything to these young men and women who will be comrades once the game is over and once their careers at the respective military institutions are complete.
I think right now there's a lot of pressure on the Navy football team with that 9-game streak. Now maybe if it gets into the fourth quarter and Army has the lead, this pressure may shift over to them trying to finish it. But right now I think Navy may be tight.
Well, they gave up 2 touchdowns in 1:45, and already Army in this ball game has rushed for 201 yards. They are the leading rushing rushing team in the country, and they've now gone over 4,000 yards for the season.
And think about it, they have rushed for over 200 yards in every game this season.
And the kickoff coming. Alexander Teach and Marcus Thomas are the deep men. 30 minutes to go. Army, Navy for the 112th time. Teach. Thomas. Alexander Teach will return the kick. All the way across midfield. And gives Navy a first down at the 49. That's a 47-yard return.
This is just something you don't see a lot in college football. Your fullback returning the kickoffs, right? I mean, he is a splendid athlete. Tough to bring down. And when he gets the football, even on the kickoff, he's a threat to go the distance.
So a nice start to the second half for the midshipmen. 14-14. They've got a first down at the 48-yard line. Oh, and a big play right off the bat inside the 35. So Navy, having yielded, that's Delvin Diggs, the backup fullback, and having yielded those quick touchdowns, what a great start for them.
Yeah, actually on that play, Army ran the same stunt when Rodriguez made the tackle, and this time he missed the fullback. But it has been an exciting first half. One pass completed in the game. Had a few turnovers to kind of get it going that way, but the way and precision the way these teams can run the ball really catches your eye and makes it a fun half.
This is Delvin Diggs, number 37. And Gary, take us through the trends.
Well, we talked about the quarterbacks in the open and how they have to be the key players in this game. Steelman had that touchdown run that really started it. Chris Proctor, a lot of those yards, Vern, was on the scramble off the pass. They've handled Proctor pretty well in the option game. And there you see it. Pretty evenly matched. Army with more yards running the ball. Navy got theirs off turnovers.
There's the run to the left side. G.G. Green, number 21. First and goal when they spot the ball just inside the 10. Rodriguez and Mackey made the tackle, but a 21-yard gain.
Watch the left tackle for Navy this time. Right here, Vickers. Watch. Those Army players are trying to play the option, and all of a sudden inside, Zach Watts is saying, I want to stop the option, and he's getting blocked by Graham Vickers.
First and goal. Teach. Barges down inside the 5. Tyler Dixon, number 17, with the stop.
Well, you've won this matchup 9 straight years. You know you're not going to go to a bowl game this year. So these seniors don't want to be the group that allows Army to win the football game and break the streak. And that senior might be the toughest one of them all.
Proctor keeps it. Proctor drives. Yep. Proctor scores.
Vern called it exactly. Keeps it, drives, and then second effort, he spins around and makes the touchdown.
John Teague with the extra point.
Yeah, I think it all happened on the first play of the drive when Army had a stunt to stop the fullback and missed a missed assignment.
This one is perfect. Snap, hold, and the kick. 5 plays, 48 yards. It took 2 minutes and 17 seconds, and the quarterback scores for the second time in the ball game. Navy breaks the tie early in the third.
Chevrolet is proud to be the official vehicle of the Army-Navy game. Meet the Achilles Freedom Team of wounded veterans, athletes whose lives were changed forever while in service to our country. With the support of Chevrolet, these brave men and women now train for athletic competitions using modified equipment and bicycles, paying tribute to those who continue to serve and giving proof that the heroic journey never ends. This customized Chevrolet Military Tribute Camaro is a symbol of support for the Achilles team, and in January will be auctioned off with proceeds donated to the Achilles team. Earlier today, U.S. Naval Academy grad and General Motors Chairman Dan Ackerson met with members from the Achilles Freedom Team to thank them for the inspiration they provide. As we celebrate today's 112th Army-Navy game, Chevrolet salutes America's heroes, both on and off the field.
Crowd of 80,789 here in Landover, Maryland, just outside the nation's capital, as Navy quickly reclaims the lead, 21-14. Scott Williams is the deep man. John T. kicks it off, and it will be taken at the 11-yard line. Well, earlier you saw the Heisman finalists, all five, as guests with Damon Spencer. Monty Ball, one of the five in New York City for the Heisman announcement tonight. Robert Griffin III, Andrew Luck, quarterback at Stanford. Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger. And Trent Richardson, a running back from Alabama. And that announcement coming up tonight. The fact, Gary, that five were invited to New York indicates, I think, that
close.
Pretty close, yeah.
Close. I think it'll be as close as ever, maybe.
Around the left side. Well, that seems a good segue to cue the duck. And the Aflac trivia question. What was the closest Heisman Trophy vote in history? Want a hint? I'll just keep you on the edge of your seats. First down and 10. Raymond Maples, number 1. Now let's take a look at the stats. Ball, Griffin, Luck, Mathieu, and Richardson.
Pretty much obviously all year I thought it was Andrew Luck's to lose, but he needed to do well at the end of the season, and he gave an opening with that loss to Oregon to Robert Griffin. And I'm wondering, because Richardson didn't play and Griffin did, and that big last win against Texas, that might be the difference in the vote.
Here's the fullback up the middle, plus Larry Dixon inside the 30 to the 28 with the first down. Travis Bush stopped him, a gain of 31.
Well, the linebackers was the talk, not allowing the offensive lineman to get on him. Frank Allen is the guy that got on the linebacker. Here's what Niumatalolo told Tracy happened exactly that way. The second level has been pierced by those guards from Army. You know, when Buddy Green told us that Army has been able to run the ball against any odd front. By what he means about that is someone on the center, the nose tackle, but the guards being uncovered. And he thought he'd show a little bit of a covering the guards by bringing his defensive ends down, but so far he has not showed it. There, oh, this is a Bob Knight play. How about this one?
Oh.
I wonder what that means. Better. He likes the bounce pass. I know that.
That's
right?
open to
and the head fake. The head
right,
fake.
yeah, maybe that's it. Only because I know him would I add the chair throw.
Right.
Second down. Of course, Bob Knight was the head basketball coach at West Point before going to Indiana, and among his students, the captain of the team, Mike Krzyzewski, who just became the all-time winning coach in basketball
Remember
history.
the famous chair throw?
Yes.
Was against Purdue.
Ooh, that's right. That's right. 21-14. 10 minutes to go in the third. Third down, 7.
Again, is it 4 down territory? It always... Oh, there's the head fake.
Steelman got a man open. That's going to be a touchdown to Malcolm Brown.
Up in the air with the head fake and then drove to the basket with a perfect pass.
Extra point is good from Alex Carlton. The 7th catch of the season for Malcolm Brown.
And it's just 4 vertical. You're just going to see him come right out here and read this man in the middle. He overruns it, and there it is. You just read the safety. If he goes wide, you throw the seam. If he stays with the slot back, you go to the wide receiver. When the safety goes wide, there's the seam down the middle, and Trent Steelman delivers. And how about that answer for the Navy touchdown? First 2 drives of the second half. 2 scores.
We're back at FedEx Field, and another look at the head fake.
It's all about fundamentals. You have to make the fake into the fullback, hold the linebackers. In essence, you've just faked the defense, make them commit first, and then Steelman, who gets pounded all game, just reads that one safety is just a throwing off the safety to that side. And Army says, you know, this passing ain't bad.
Steelman with the touchdown toss, his 13th career pass and his 3rd against the Naval Academy. 21-21, 9:45 to go in the third.
Last 2 kickoffs for Navy, they've returned 40 and 48 yards. Let's see if Army can try to hold some field position here for their defense.
Teach and Thomas are the 2 deep men.
Remember, right before the end of the half, they had a good one also.
There's Teach. Eric Osteen will kick off, number 37. From the goal line. Alex Teach, not this time. And let's go down to Tracy, who's with the owner of the Washington Redskins, Daniel Snyder.
That's right. And Daniel, you've wanted this game for so long. You outbid several other cities. Why was it so important to you?
Well, for 10 years we've been working on it, and it's an honor, a privilege to have this great game here. 112 years, never been in Washington, D.C., and to host it is an amazing thing for us, and we're just proud of it.
This is your first Army-Navy game. Your thoughts on what you've seen so far?
Well, it's 21-all, so it's a heck of a game, and we hope that this becomes a tradition, hosting this game every few years for Washington. And being the nation's capital is a big deal, and it really belongs here.
How about the whole beginning of the game and the march on and watching these teams join together at the end of the game as well that you'll wait and see?
It's really something to see. It's a beautiful sight, and for it to be hosted in the nation's capital, it's about time, and we hope to create a new tradition here.
Well, thanks so much. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Vern?
All right, Tracy, thank you. That was a run by Aaron Santiago just a moment ago. And a first down 10 at the 34. Alexander Teach.
Vern, I want to read over my notes from last year, and I had something happen to me that I really never got on air last year that I think still fits. I was walking through the stands, and an elderly gentleman with his wife was sitting there 4 hours before the game, kind of cold, and he goes, "Go Boilers." I turned around and I go, "You have somebody playing here on either side?" He goes, "No." but this has always been my bucket list, to come and watch Army-Navy. He sat and watched the game, and I just thought about it all game, that if you love college football, this should be your college football bucket list.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's the third that you and I have been privileged to do together, and it is, oh, it's another fumble.
Oh, here you go. Maybe the other direction this time.
Oh, my goodness. Yes, indeed. Jeffrey Bacon, number 6, recovered it.
Yeah, Steve Erzinger was there handling the option. Let's see if he ripped it loose. He did. It was Erzinger, who, the senior, who's made so many plays for this defense, played the option, and he's the one that ripped it loose. He started off this season when they lost to Northern Illinois, made 21 tackles. We interviewed him on Wednesday. He gave all the credit to Alexander and his teammates Rodriguez, but he's quite a football player. Excuse me, Andrew Rodriguez.
Right. And here's Larry Dixon, number 26. So the turnover's even now at 2-2.
Yeah, but this one might be coming back. Might be a penalty inside. I think it was Frank Allen.
Block, number 79
Yeah,
offense, 15 yards, still first down.
Frank Allen got a hand on, I think he probably caught a stunt trying to get somebody in between and pulled them down. Watch, right there. Got the nose tackle. Oh, it's a high-low play right there. That's what it was called. You post up, excuse me,
oh, that's correct.
Post up on the center, and then you get the cut block from the guard.
So 15-yard penalty. They marched the ball all the way back just outside the 40-yard line.
By the way, for years and years and years, when the wishbone was in its heyday, that block was legal.
Yes.
And when you played nose tackle, it was for men to play nose tackle back in those days. You had to fight off those blocks all day.
The foul was administered from the previous spot. First down.
And so first down, 25. Last 3 drives, 3 touchdowns for Rich Ellerson's bunch. Yes. Now who got it?
Yeah. I mean, this is a disastrous drive. It looks like Army got the ball back, though. And it wasn't the quarterback, was it?
I don't think so.
No, Steelman's coming out. I think it was fought and got by the guard inside. Matt Vellante? Yes, it was number 71 that ended up with the ball.
Yes.
Boy, quarterback center exchange. That didn't even get close.
Second down, 23. Yes, they did. Delay game.
5 yards. Still second down.
Let's go back to that quarterback center exchange again. That was mistiming all the way. I think Steelman expected that ball a lot earlier than it got there. I wonder if the center, Pois, that time was surprised by the snap count and he was late with it, because it seemed like Steelman thought that ball would be there a lot earlier.
On second and 28, there's the pitch. Good block in the corner, and Raymond Maples picks up a few. Jared Shannon, number 10, made the tackle.
Well, when you say it's a good block on the edge or the corner, you're usually talking about the other slot back. It was Malcolm Brown that time, number 23. And this inside wishbone with both backs in the backfield, you get those arc blocks to the outside, and they can be deadly.
Steelman. Off the back foot, just throws it away. It'll be a punting situation.
Well, this is the third drive that Army has basically stopped themselves. 2 turnovers, and this time with a penalty and loss of downs. Great field position to start the drive, and they get nothing out of it. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
That's 3 drives Army has given away because of their own inability to perform the offense.
That recovery of the fumble was made at the 45-yard line, and they wound up having to punt on 4th and 20. Chris Bolt punts it away to Matt Aiken, who is nailed immediately. 38-yard punt, 3 on the return. Frank Siva, the long snapper, is down to make the tackle. So Navy's got the ball back. 3rd quarter from Washington, D.C. The Home Depot College Football on CBS. Army-Navy, America's Game, presented by USAA, is sponsored by America's Navy, Bud Light, AT&T, and by Aflac. Tied at 21 here midway through the 3rd, 6:15 to go. Steve Erzinger, who provided what appeared to be a key play a moment ago when he ripped the ball loose from Proctor. Army unable to capitalize. But Steve Erzinger, the senior, is one of the subjects profiled in A Game of Honor.
We can train these guys for the battlefield in Iraq and Afghanistan. And 5-10 years from now, they may be in a totally different situation. What we're really doing is trying to ingrain in them critical thinking and that decision-making process.
This is pretty tough. You're always trying to keep on your toes, so you always have to have kind of an edge around you.
A Game of Honor will premiere Wednesday, December 21st, only on Showtime.
And Steve's twin brother plays football for Texas Tech. We asked him why the Naval Academy, and he said, I wanted to be different.
1st down 10.
He's going to be a difference maker in life.
Yes, he will. On the sweep. This is Aaron Santiago. Erzinger with the tackle.
Well, Rich Ellerson charged on the field. Navy has not been penalized. Watch Jabari Tawani here. And Streelman might be a soldier, but he faked this one. Watch Tawani. Watch him shake his finger. There's Rich right there. Tawani gave him a little finger like, no, not even close.
Teach.
Watch Jabari at the end of this one more time here at the end of this play. Gone. No, I'm a senior. I'm not going to fall for that. Just no. No. You fake that.
Jabari Tawani, number 98, out of Nashville. Almost was ready to accept an offer from Furman when he was contacted late by the Naval Academy. 3rd down. Pitch right. That should be enough for the 1st down. It was Aaron Santiago again.
Aaron Santiago is listed at 5'8", 170. Try 5'6.5", 155.
Yep.
Okay, but he is a playmaker for them. Remember what Ivan Jasper told us. He thought they'd have to hit a couple passes to loosen up this Army defense. They haven't done one yet.
Well, here's the first attempt. Deep right side. Incomplete. Intended for Casey Bellina. And defended by Hayden Pierce.
Yes, Hayden Pierce, one of the 2 corners. Josh Jackson and Hayden Pierce feels it, turns around and finds the ball. And remember, it's tough. Like Ricky Dobbs was a healthy thrower. Chris Proctor's trying to do this with a arm and elbow that's going to need surgery.
2nd down 10.
And that's why Army can cheat their defenders closer and closer to the line of scrimmage.
Here comes the blitz. Proctor throws it for the 2nd time, and it's complete.
You could feel it coming. The defense is now at about 6 or 7 yards. They do not believe Chris Proctor. You know, you look at, there's the 4 or 5 of them right there. One safety that's supposed to be deep. He has to match up quickly with the slot, and he doesn't do it. Tyler Dixon can't get there.
And so the chain is moved to 1st down and 10 for Navy. 21 all, 4:14 to go in the 3rd.
In a way, though, for Army's defense, a pass for just a 1st down is a win.
Pitch late. Right side. G.J. Green. Gary mentioned earlier he represents the speed in the Navy backfield.
Well, in just 170 attempts in his career, G.G. Green, a junior from Columbia, South Carolina, has gained over 1,200 yards. And on the option like that, you can see why he can get to that corner quickly.
And another 1st down, Navy. 21 all, 3:45 to go in the 3rd. Nice run. Alex Teach, number 39. Now, we've been talking a little bit about the Heisman Trophy, which will be awarded later tonight. Here's the Aflac trivia question answer. The closest Heisman Trophy vote in history. Mark Ingram over Toby Gerhart, 28 points just 2 years ago. There have been, of course, 5 Heisman winners representing these 2 military institutions. One of them is here tonight, Roger Staubach from Dallas. I don't know if Joe Bellino is here or not. And the other 3, Pete Dawkins of West Point, along with the late Doc Blanchard and the late Glenn Davis. Delvin Diggs for 37 yards. And it's just the nature of things that I don't think an academy graduate will ever win the Heisman.
Well, it'll be tough again. Well, this offensive line for Navy, Vern, we've talked about the Army offensive line. Most of their seniority comes with their offensive line. Left guard Josh Cabral, senior, 24 straight starts. Brady DeMel, 25 starts. John Dowd, 24 starts. Ryan Bassford, 20 starts at right tackle. Right across those 4 guys right there is where all their veteran leadership comes from.
On 1st down. There's another late pitch, left side. That was John Howell, number 33. And Army believing they had recovered it. It is ruled not so.
Well, this is the type of drive that Army likes to put together. 9 plays. Finally threw the ball a couple times, completed 1. Kind of grinding out 1st downs.
Running on the field as the runner was down for the forward.
Rich Ellerson, whose father is a U.S. Military Academy grad. He has 2 brothers who also graduated from West Point.
Right at the end of the play here. Let's see what happens.
This is Howell.
The ball is it looked to me like his left knee was down as that ball popped out. There wasn't a huge hue and cry from the Army bench. Knee goes down and then the ball goes out. This would be a tough one to overrule. And I don't think it will be.
Here's a look from behind. Yeah, it looks like that left knee is down before the ball came out.
Yeah, Tyler Dixon was the guy trying to rip it out that time, the free safety.
Zach Watts was there as well. Number 40.
It's kind of worked into Army's favor in a way. This drive, it looked like they were a little bit gassed out there. They're now going to be able to regroup for this 2nd down play unless they get the ball somehow.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands.
Second down 6. Mentioned the there's President Obama is going to leave the premises a little early. He'll be back in the White House within 10 minutes. Up the middle. And it'll be third down.
Nice play by A.J. Mackey that time, the nose tackle. One of the only veteran defensive linemen they have. Is that him right there? I'm not quite sure where he lined up on this play. No, he was outside on the other side spot at defensive end. That shifting defense for Army. Nose tackles move all around. This time it looks like an odd front. They kind of switch around the whole game.
Proctor with a keeper, and he did not get it.
Oh, now what do you do?
Fourth down. Erzinger. And Tyler Dixon.
Well, Payam Sadat, the defensive coordinator for Army, has changed up their look. You see how they moved their tackles and nose tackles wider to give Navy a different look here to try to slow it down. Be a 37-yard field goal or 4th and 1.
And they will go for the first down. 4th and 1 in the tie game late in the third. He got it. Proctor. First down, Navy at the 14.
And this time for Chris Proctor, it was a run all the way. There was no faking here. This was a quarterback keep. It might as well have been Ricky Dobbs, because that time Alexander Teach was just coming up to block. He never thought he was going to get the ball.
Ken Niumatalolo, a graduate of Hawaii when he was a quarterback, and his coach was Rich Ellerson. Two longtime associates and friends. And Chris Proctor just picked up the first down on the final play of the third quarter. That's the end of 3, 21-all. We'll return to our nation's capital right after this word from your local station.
Man, I'm so psyched to get this boat out on the water.
Not as psyched as I am for this Army-Navy game.
Yeah! Man, Navy's gonna mop up.
Hey, Navy, you're gonna need a bigger boat.
Go Army! Oh, goodness. We welcome you back to Landover, Maryland, just outside the nation's capital. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, Tracy Wolfson. And a first down 10 for the Naval Academy. They come left this time. This is G.G. Green. As Navy threatening to break the tie, Tyler Dixon, number 17.
Well, Tyler Dixon had 14 tackles against Rutgers, and you can see why. The sophomore is the guy that chases down these sweeps to the outside. He lines up very shallow as the free safety. He's almost another middle linebacker, a second wave, but he runs the alley from side to side. He's responsible for that pitch man.
Second down 5 at the 9. There's Dixon. Proctor gives it out up the middle. Alex Teach.
This was so beautifully blocked. This was a counter trap. Watch the guard pull across. Number 68, John Dowd. Really no one to block that time. Jacob Troyes kind of was looking for the option, playing assignment football, and Dowd came across and kind of scooted him out of the way without even trying.
Teach 16 carries, 83 yards now. 15th play of the drive. First and goal. Not this time. Proctor.
Fake and follow the fullback. And just that pursuit down the line that time stopped that play. Remember, Chris Proctor had that touchdown at the end of the Air Force game. And,
right.
had the unfortunate, unsportsmanlike call against them. Situation similar to this on 4th down.
Proctor.
No down.
Touchdown.
Yep,
right?
3rd down.
Well, this was Chris Proctor against the Air Force on October 1st. He scored, and a little verbal sparring, some physical, and Proctor was flagged, and he got a 15-yard penalty, and subsequently they missed the extra point after the penalty had been marked off and wound up losing by 1.
Yeah, that was a tremendous comeback for the Navy football team in that game against Air Force. A lot of emotions going on right there. They came from 18 points down, and then in overtime, that missed extra point cost them.
Time called. A.J. Mackey is the injured player. Will return in a moment. Well, we thought the president was leaving the premises a few moments ago, but he was strictly switching seats. And went in among the cadets, and now he stands, as do they, on 3rd down.
Oh, penalty. First one of the game by Navy.
Looked like it was Graham Vickers, number 70.
5 yards. Still 3rd down.
You never take anything for granted. Think this might be automatic, and Vickers just too anxious after the timeout, and now it's a completely different situation on 3rd and 6. Remember the last time in this long yardage situation, they went with the option wide to teach.
These two teams between them are number 1 and number 4 in fewest penalties in a game. Navy leads the country. Army is number 4. That is the first penalty of the afternoon. 3rd and goal.
Same play.
Teach. Proctor keeps. It's 4th down.
Well, there hasn't been a lot of penalties on the Navy team, but that was a huge one. They probably would have taken both opportunities to score. Now they're going to have to go field goal, the option wide, and look at the pursuit from inside out, and it was stopped by Zeldernaitis right there, wasn't it? Holt Zeldernaitis.
It was. So John Teague is on. He's had trouble this year. He's had 2 blocked, an extra point, 2 of them blocked, and 1 missed game-winning field goal. This one is from 23. Cuts it inside the right upright. And Navy reclaims the lead.
Well, the Army defense stopped him on 1st and 2nd down, and then they got the penalty, and Rich Ellerson says, hey, we'll give them 3.
And now it's time for our Geico game recap.
Navy started the scoring. Chris Proctor, a 4-yard rushing touchdown. They were up 7-0, and they scored again shortly thereafter. This was Alex Teach on the pitch, dived in for the score, 14-0. But Army responded with 2 touchdowns in short order. First, it was Steelman from 34 yards out. That made it 14-7. Malcolm Brown, a 5-yard rushing touchdown, 14-14. Opening drive, 3rd quarter, Proctor again. And it was 21-14, but on the subsequent drive, a pass from Steelman to Brown, 25-yard touchdown, tied it up. And then just a moment ago, John Teague from 23 yards out to give Navy another lead. And the kickoff forthcoming now. Scott Williams and Larry Dixon are the deep men. 24-21 with 12:03 to go in the ball game.
That last shot, they may be our future leaders, but they're still kids, right?
Yes. You know, that was really touching to see.
Exactly. They're having fun.
How enthralled they were to turn around, listen to the president. Here we go. Scott Williams.
Oh, ball's out. The ball is out.
It is. Another Army fumble. Who got it? Navy.
Well, sometimes you can sell out a bit too much. And this time, selling out, that ball popped loose.
Noah Copeland forced the fumble. Jordan Drake recovered it.
Boy, it has been the story of the Army season right here. Look at that form tackle, by the way. Hellman goes right on the football. And now this Army defense must hold here. They must hold for a field goal.
Third lost fumble of the game.
And does Chris Proctor have another throw in that elbow of his? Fumbled back.
Oh, my goodness. That was Teach. Army's turnover story the last couple of years. In 2010, they were plus 16 in turnover margin.
And put them in a bowl game.
Yes, and look how they have plunged this year, minus 9.
And their margin of error does not allow. They don't have good enough football players to have that happen. They need to be precise, and those fumbles and turnovers have just killed their team.
Left side. Teach. Navy comes in 4-7, and their bowl run ends at 9. 6 games decided by 7 points or less. 1-5 record in those games.
And opposite the year before, they won all those close games the year before.
They did get shellacked in a couple of losses to Southern Miss and to Notre Dame.
Proctor has thrown 2 for the day, completed 1. Does he have another one in him?
Timeout called. And is taken by Navy. 10 minutes and 37 seconds remaining in the ball game. 24-21. Navy. The Home Depot College Football on CBS. Army-Navy, America's game presented by USAA, is sponsored by USAA. The Droid Razor. Ram Trucks. And by the U.S. Army. Big third down coming up, 24-21. Ken Niumatalolo, the head coach in his 4th year, is a native Hawaiian. He is profiled in the documentary A Game of Honor.
My heart will always be in Hawaii, but Annapolis has definitely become the home for my family. To play here at the Naval Academy, you need to be a young man of great integrity. You need to have a great work ethic. You need to be highly motivated to continue the tradition of Navy football.
A Game of Honor premieres Wednesday, December 21st, only on Showtime. 3rd and 9. 3rd and 9. 24-21. Proctor will throw. And he has to throw it away because he was under terrific pressure. Led by Andrew Rodriguez, number 42.
Yeah, I mean, they're out of field goal range. You're not going to kick a field goal. I guess he has made a 54-yarder this year. But
he did in the opening game.
He did.
Yeah.
But he's been shaky since.
Well,
be a 44-yarder.
Yeah, they're going to try it.
Well, there's not as much pressure on this one. Great stop by that Army defense, helped by Navy's fumbled snap.
44-yard attempt for John Teague. He's hit 1 from 23 last drive. Wow.
He got it just inside.
Wow, he drew it in.
Good for him. Still a win for the Army defense, but that puts Navy within a field goal of getting more than a 7-point lead.
Beltran with a hold. Come on. Sure. Never a doubt.
English.
The Chiefs and the Jets battle to stay alive in the playoff race. Then the Raiders fight for first in the AFC West against the undefeated Packers. A doubleheader Sunday on CBS.
10-26, 27-21. Well, Gary, you opened the afternoon with a talk about the two quarters.
Yeah, that was safe. Option offense. You figure these guys are going to handle the ball. Chris Proctor got the first 2 scores on the ground. He's got that toughness and that option. But Trent Steelman broke it open with this inside keeper that kind of gutted the Navy defense. And then the pass, the unexpected pass that really made this a football game and has forced the Navy defense to stay on their heels. Really been a story for Army of turnovers again, basically.
Yes.
Without the turnovers, I mean, they have moved the ball against the Navy defense.
And they get it back now, trailing by 6 with 10:26 to go. Hold on to your hats. James Britton, freshman safety. Well, we posed a poll question a while ago. Army-Navy, 44% winner. Alabama-Auburn, the second choice. Michigan-Ohio State, Harvard-Yale in there. And I hear a cry from the West Coast about, don't forget UCLA, USC.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
So the West Coast or the west side of our truck? Got a real big USC fan.
Yeah, we do. Yes, we do. There's Steelman.
Bill O'Brien, affectionately known as Irish to us, he's a big USC fan.
Well, here's the thing, though, with Bill. He graduated from St. John's.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, again, the good read inside. Tawani takes the fullback. And just as you're supposed to do, keep it and move the chains.
Joshua Jones with the tackle. 10 minutes to go. We're under 10. 27-21.
Think about this drive. If you're an Army fan or an Army football player, 9 straight years. There's no bowl game for either team this year.
Right. Steelman cuts inside, picked up 3 to the 36.
What might one drive in the fourth quarter mean to Army football? And they like to control the fourth quarter. In 2 of their wins, they had the ball for over 10 minutes of the fourth quarter. They put together an 8 or 9 minute drive and put a touchdown on. They could steal this game.
Fullback. That's Dixon, the freshman that we mentioned. He started the last 4 games and has scored in each of those 4. Average point differential. Look at this. A 9-game winning streak for Navy. 3rd down 2. Toss. First down, Army. Raymond Maple, 6'1", 200-pounder, the sophomore out of Philadelphia.
Well, how about that call by offensive coordinator Ian Shields that time? Everybody's thinking it's going to be fullback up the middle. Navy stunts inside and basically run out of the way of the sweep. Great call.
At the 45.
About another minute or so, you almost are in 4-down territory for the game. Well, there's a good stop inside.
Yes, it was. Dixon, the fullback, couldn't move it.
Yeah, Jared Marks was in on that one, nose tackle.
2nd down.
Marks is their biggest football player. He's 300 pounds. Big number 91. Safe to say Marks is not going to go into submarines.
I was just thinking the same thing. We've been together too long.
That's right. We are corny, aren't we?
Pass is complete at the 40-yard line. David Brooks, number 13.
the speed sweep on 3rd down. This time, David Brooks goes out. Lead blocker is the center, Powis, excuse me, Ryan Powis, and another nice throw by Trent Steelman.
Steelman now 3 of 5 for 49 yards. Brooks, that's his 9th catch of the season, and he is the leader. This Army team dead last in passing yards, 48 per game. Quick opener, Naples. 7:14 to go. Army trying to break a 9-game losing streak. Who popped up?
That was Jim Young.
Jim Young, yes. It is, yes.
Army coach. See Dwight Eisenhower in the lower level there on one of the cards. Mike.
2nd down 4.
Unless it's long yardage now, you pretty much have to believe Army's going to use all 4 downs. Like 4th and real long.
Pull back again. Dixon breaks a tackle.
He did. Remember, Larry Dixon is just a freshman. Jared Hassan has been beat up as a fullback for 2 years of doing this. They've turned the ball over to Dixon. And in the last 5 games, Dixon has been the number 2 rusher for this Army football team.
And he picked up a 1st down 10 at the 28.
Run right through Tawani that time. There
goes Brown. Cuts it inside. He's down at the 24-yard line. Coming up later in the game, the play of the game presented by Napa Auto Parts. Six minutes to go. 2nd and 6. There's General Eisenhower, upper left-hand corner. Steelman wants to throw. Hit from behind. And is tackled all the way back to the 32-yard line.
Let's give some credit to this Navy secondary this time. The safety does a nice job of playing the option and reading the arc pass and getting back on it just in time, where Steelman had not enough time to watch him and get away from the defense at the same time. Taken down by Matt Warwick. Matt had his first start a year ago in this football game.
Right. And there is a player down in between the 25 and the 30. It's Jared Shannon up now and walking off. Well, we took the train down from New York the other day and shared the train with Steve Croft, and you'll see him tomorrow night with the president. The Jeep postgame show coming up immediately following the conclusion of this 112th playing of Army and Navy.
Well, tough call here for Army. Passing on 2nd down and getting sacked. The Army pass offense does not work when Navy expects it. So now you got to wonder, will they run here and give 2 downs to try to get a 1st down? Or will they try to throw the ball in an obvious pass situation?
3rd and 11. Difference in the demeanor on the 2 sides as the Navy guys doing jumping jacks. It's very quiet over on the Army side. 3rd and 11. 5:20 to go. Steelman at the 25. Travis Bush made the tackle. Fourth and 7. Army goes for it. Under 5 to go. They trail by 6. Timeout.
Oh, that's a big timeout. Because if they don't make it, now they're, it's getting a clock where they might want to get the ball back.
Both teams with 2 timeouts left. It's an historic moment for the country and the president, and tomorrow you won't want to miss the wide-ranging interview with President Obama, only on 60 Minutes tomorrow, only CBS. And the president has become invested in this ball game. And
we did the same thing up here.
Of course we did.
We took our pictures with him, didn't we?
We couldn't let the president go. There were photo ops all around. 4th down and 7. 4th and 7.
Well, it's always easier for the bench for Navy to be cheering up than Army wants it quiet so they can run their audibles. Navy wants it loud.
Anthony Stevens is in at wide receiver. Now the look back. The play is flashed in. David Brooks is the receiver at the top of the screen. Got him. Matt Warwick, number 51.
Matt Warwick, number 51, started his first game a year ago. His father, Vince, also a graduate of West Point. Matt was born in Germany. And he was all over that quarterback keep on that one. In that game last year, he had 13 tackles, but none bigger than that one.
Oh, my goodness. You think this is important? His father was a graduate of the class of 1980. And there's the run around the right side. Chris Proctor. Josh Jackson, number 14.
Yeah, Matt Warwick had both sacks in that drive. He had it on the pass, and then he came back on the option. Here you see Chris Proctor kind of weaving his way through it. I think the skateboarder is a great description of how he attacks the game of football.
Now, that was his coach, Ken Niumatalolo's description of him yesterday. He is a California kid. 2nd down and 1. 3:45 to go. 1st down. Clock stops. Army can only stop the clock 2 more times.
Yeah, and remember, they don't have a pass offense that can score in 1 minute. So I think right now this is it. They need to draw the line right now. If I'm Rich Ellerson, I'm using my timeouts now because you need time to run your offense if you get a stop.
And they have just called a timeout. 1 remaining for the Cadets. 27-21, 3 minutes and 39 seconds to go. And so,
you know, it's a little different strategy, I believe, because you're a running team. If you were a passing team, you would save your timeouts a little longer. But I think here, if they get a stop, they got to start thinking about stopping the clock right away.
Proctor keeps it.
If they get a stop.
Yeah, that's the big
I still think Army will take their timeouts. They do. They do.
We thought they had taken one prior to the last play.
No, but they took
not.
one earlier on offense.
Yep.
This is the second one now. This is dangerous, though, because it's 2nd and, 3 yards. Will Trent Steelman even get the ball back? You know, I really have to think that Army's one call they would like to have back is that 2nd down pass when they got sacked. You know, when you're thinking 4-down territory, I'm thinking 2nd down, I'm giving that ball or faking the ball to the fullback. They couldn't use a negative yardage play.
And then, of course, on 4th down, Warwick with a big stop. Right now, 2nd down and 3. And Army with 1 timeout left.
Well, Army, Rich Ellerson's defense will be bringing the house here. They need a negative play.
Raymond Maples, you saw him on the sideline hoping that he and his offensive teammates will get 1 more shot. So is Trent Steelman.
See if Rodriguez might stunt inside and make a play.
Proctor has it. Short of the first down. Jacob Droz makes the stop.
Inside, take on your players, funnel it back inside. Ray French makes the tackle. Now 3rd and short. Basically, this is it.
Proctor with 29 carries today. Steelman. They got him.
They did. And a timeout will be called by Army.
Yes, Tyler Dixon, number 17.
Well, you know, Navy took so much time in the huddle trying to bleed the clock that they ran up and never really got this play off. Stopped inside and won away. That's the free safety. I said they'd be bringing everybody.
So 4th down.
Got your free safety stopping the quarterback almost on a keeper.
They will measure. About a foot. About a foot.
Yeah, now do you go for it here? Ball game if you make it.
Yeah.
But if you punt it, remember, Army's offense is not an explosive offense. They also, remember, could try to draw Army offside.
So the offensive unit remains on the field.
Here we go.
Here's your ball game.
They could be trying just to get the penalty also. Everybody up for Army. There's no one else on the field but those guys in the picture.
Oh, boy.
Jared Droz, number 50, might be the guy that forced the play. The Navy team, did they react to number 50's movement?
Offside. Defense. Defense is in the neutral zone. Causing the offense.
I think it was Jacob Droz, number 50, that moved. Watch him right here. See that step? And that means the offense reacts to it, and that draws the 5-yard penalty. Wow. You can't, I don't think Navy Vern was ever going to snap the ball.
Right.
I think they were going to punt it.
And the team reacts as the flag is thrown and Droz called for offside. And that should do it. 1:45 to go. 1 timeout remaining from Navy. Here's the 31st carry for Chris Proctor.
Army has one last timeout to call.
And this group of Army seniors will complete their careers without ever having won against Navy. Conversely, Navy's seniors have never lost. Last time out called with 97 seconds to go. And indeed, it has been a decade of dominance. But the previous 9 games have been overwhelming victories for the most part for Navy. And this time, this is really, really closely contested.
You have to say, Army without their own mistakes.
Yep.
As you see Trent Steelman on the bench right there. Just too many mistakes that stop themselves. Penalties and fumbles.
Right side, Alexander Teach, senior from Conroe.
He just said, give me the ball. And you know, for Alexander Teach, I asked him why he wanted to go to the Naval Academy, and he said, 9/11 did it for me. I wanted to serve.
And he will. We mentioned about 3 hours ago that he is one of 28 men accepted for SEAL training. He will go through shoulder surgery first and then 2.5 years of training. Proctor down. Proctor now with 32 carries, 96 yards, 2 touchdowns. He is our player of the game. His 7th career game with 2 rushing touchdowns and playing much of the season, as Gary has pointed out, with a dislocated elbow.
And one team had the 4th down stop, and the other team had the 4th down penalty.
And so for the 10th
still 4th down
consecutive year, Navy will win. The clock does stop on the delay of game. And a penalty of 5 yards to be marked off. Midshipmen only have a half-hour ride to get home. The cadets are back on the buses, 6.5 or 7 to go back to West Point. And here is the punt. Fair catch taken with 1 second to go. Bit of a surprise to see the fair catch.
Just a last note about West Point, Vern, to put this all in perspective. In the 10 years, the last decade, in our mission in Afghanistan and Iraq, 84 West Point graduates have given their life for our country.
Timeout Navy with 2 seconds to go. They did put 1 second back on the clock. Time now for the Napa Auto Parts play of the game. We take you back to the 4th and 7 stop by Warwick and the call from Bob Socci of the Navy Radio Network.
Brown comes in motion. Steelman inside fake. He keeps. He's buried in the backfield. Matt Warwick shoots through a gap and takes him for a loss. Navy with a 4th down stop.
And Navy will win in large part because of the defensive talents of number 51. Now you want to talk about a prevent defense? Look at this.
They might gain some yards, though.
Yeah, they could.
Why don't they just run? They don't have to throw it.
Steelman lets it fly. Caught. But game over. Game over. Great traditions in all of college football about to take place here. And let's go down to Tracy.
Coach, we saw the emotion that you just displayed, hugging Teach right there. Why is it so emotional, this win?
I had to suspend him it's like disciplining your son. It was a hard decision, but I love that kid. I love these young men, and also just very happy for him.
Congratulations. Enjoy it.
That suspension occurred after a painful loss to the Air Force when Alex Teach ignored tradition and left the field before the singing of the alma maters. Told us yesterday he walked into the locker room all by himself and said, oh, this is not a good thing. And he was then suspended for 1 game the next game. Thus the explanation by Ken Niumatalolo to Tracy. Now then, the tradition. The vanquished go before their colleagues. Take their places in front of the midshipmen. Army this year had a motto of sing second. They didn't get to do it. They had to sing first. (27-21) the final in the 112th playing of Army Navy. First time ever, if you can imagine, in the nation's capital. For Gary Danielson and Tracy Wolfson, I'm Vern Lundquist saying so long from our nation's capital. The final score, 27-21. Chris Proctor led the way with 97 yards on the ground. The Jeep postgame show is up next after these messages and a word from your local stations.